be feeling great about this here.
Okay, much better. Oh, I'm glad you got your gavel, because I forgot. Here you go.
Thank you. I'll call order the Stephenville Town Council meeting agenda for Thursday, May 23rd, 2024 at 6:30 PM. Janelle, would you take a roll call, please?
Councilmember Barker? Here. Councilmember Brown? Here. Councilmember Nelson?
Here.
And Councilmember Smith has an excused absence tonight, and Mayor Mickelson.
Here. Would you please rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Move to item number 3, public comments. Public comments on anything not on the agenda tonight. Any public comments on anything not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 4, approval of minutes. To move the meeting along, would it be okay if we blanket them all at once, or would you like to just do them individually with motions?
I think we're okay with them all at once,
All in one? Okay,
unless somebody had some comments on the meeting minutes.
okay. And with that, I would like a motion to approve the town council meeting minutes of 3/28, 4/11, 4/25, and 5/02. Councilmember Barker.
I make a motion to move town council meeting minutes 3/28, 2024, town council meeting minutes 4/11, 2024, town council meeting minutes 4/25, 2024,
Excuse me, the county meeting minutes.
okay, and the cow meeting minutes from 5/2/2024.
We have a motion, do we have a second? Councilmember, yes.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and we have a second. Do we have a discussion by the council on the minutes? Seeing none, do we have any discussion from the public on the minutes? Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilmember Barker? Aye. Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
And Councilmember Nelson?
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Item number 5, approval of biweekly claims. Can I get a motion, please? Councilmember Barker.
I make a motion for approval of biweekly claims number 18947, 18949, 18997.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Councilmember Nelson.
I'll second that
We
motion.
have a motion, we have a second. Do we have any discussion from the council on the claims? Councilmember Brown.
Under 18949, it says May 2024, and then it has Three Rivers Land Works and Adobe license underneath that.
Say the number one more time.
It's 18949.
So that was on the visa.
Yeah, and it has May, it's CenturyLink and then May 2024, and then Three Rivers Land Works.
I don't know what that one is. You see that?
I'm not sure why the Three Rivers Land Works, because it doesn't even fall into a line, does it? It just
No.
jumps down, it should just read Adobe, Adobe, Adobe after that. So I can ask her, I'll put it into an email so that when she comes back, she can see that piece, I guess, but yeah.
Councilmember Brown.
And then under claim number, I think it's under the credit card too, it's 60655, shirt shop uniforms, $711.
Believe, I'm sorry, what page you gonna have?
Page 39, or 3 of 16 on the claims.
Thank you. I believe, we can double check though, but I think that was fire department. Jeff, does that sound right to you?
I know that the claim above that for
shirt shop for, I think it's labeled badges, but it's actually some embroidery patches we had made for our gear bags, our whitewater gear bags, rescue bags, and our low ankle equipment bags as well. That was for the 7-Eleven. I'm not sure what that would be. We can look into it and find out, but here tonight, I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I see, because I see the logo one that you're talking about right above it.
Yeah,
And then it has shirt shop uniforms.
yeah, I'm not sure what uniform we would have bought from the shirt shop. I mean, we do embroidery work through the shirt shop for
Actually,
the associations.
I don't believe that that was uniforms. Was there something done for some bags?
Bags.
I remember Trevor coming in and asking, he was heading to town to get them picked up. I'm thinking that's probably what that was from the shirt shop.
We did have bags
And I think that's what it was.
Yes,
On the
it's not
invoice.
uniforms
labeled
then.
in the
There it
invoice
is.
that was
Yeah.
stated that.
That's what it was then, not uniforms. It's the bags that he's talking about instead. I will write that one down for you guys.
We'll bring that back around to you to clear it up.
And then claim number 18978 for 210 for entry level law enforcement officer selection test Form A.
Those were there is a written portion for the candidate, and there is a psychological evaluation report, and these were ordering of new or more of the written. We got
Yes.
10 or 12 of them, I believe,
Yes.
right in there, about 10 or 12 of them that came in. Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions on the claims? No worries. These are out of cycle anyway, they're paid.
Mhm.
Questions? That's fine. They should still be questioned. None? Are we good on the claims then? Do you think?
I think so. I didn't have any, I don't think I had any other questions on.
Councilmember Brown?
No, those were my questions.
Councilmember Nelson?
Nope, I can't find anything.
Okay. And any questions on the claims from the public? Seeing none, you know when to take the vote.
Councilmember Barker? Aye. Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Councilmember Nelson?
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Item number B. Councilmember Barker.
I approve bi-weekly claims number 18998 and 18999.
We have a motion by Councilmember Barker. Do we have a second? Councilmember Brown.
Second, that motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Do we have a discussion from the council on the claims?
Seemed pretty self-explanatory on those.
Yeah.
Okay. Any comments from the public on the claims? Seeing none, you know when to take the vote.
Councilmember Barker?
Aye.
Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
And Councilmember Nelson?
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Item number 6, administrative reports. Airport, those are not here. It's in your deal. Building department's there. Finance, John. Fire department, Jeff.
So our run sheet is in your guys' packet, you should have that. April, we had 55 requests for service, 20 in the town, 34 in the district, 1 mutual aid request. We had 40 medical responses out of those 55, and we had 14 fire calls, which is kind of a high number for the month of April. And one motor vehicle crash for the 55. At the end of the last month, we were at 218. We did 8 responses today alone. So we were running pretty much from about 3 o'clock this morning on. Going forward, it's pretty much business as usual. Upcoming event, we do have the 4th of July fireworks that we will be doing again this year. So we are in the midst of doing some fundraising to get that tidied up and done and taken care of. Again, we're going to work that in conjunction with the Civic Club and the picnic on the 4th of July. So I think they've moved their event to later in the afternoon to maybe keep more people in the park for the fireworks show then afterwards. So that's kind of where we're at. It's kind of pretty much business as usual. Again, I mean, medical calls seems to be what we do. We do a bunch of those. So that 14 fires was kind of an interesting anomaly that came up, but it is what it is.
I want to thank you for being there this morning all around town. It was
We were all.
pretty chaotic, yeah. Okay, thanks, Jeff. Moving on to the police report, Mr. Bo.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, for the month of April, we had 52 calls for service, within the city limits of Stevensville. We issued 12 citations. Of those, 12 were for traffic, or 5 were for traffic violators, and 7 were for city ordinance violations. And then we issued 2 warnings aside from that. We physically incarcerated 4 individuals, 4 adults into the Raleigh County Detention Center, and then 1 juvenile was adjudicated through the Juvenile Justice Center. We did assist, aside from the 52 calls for service, we assisted Raleigh County Sheriff's Department on 1 call. I did on that particular night. If you look through the April stat line, we're pretty consistent with the month of March, with the exception of the citations issued. So we're pretty much business as usual as well. Our business is normal as well. Any questions about that? Is this a good time to talk about the
Yes.
park thing?
Do that.
So the mayor and I were talking earlier, actually a few times about this already. Prior to my arriving here, sometime back, the park back there had a sun up to sundown, open close. And I was kind of hoping that we could kind of move back toward that. Certain times of the year, we may have the sun go down at 6. Then there are other times of the year where it goes down at 9:30, 10 o'clock. And so there's been a lot of drug traffic through that area over the last month or so. And we want to curtail that a little bit by having a posted park closing sign. It allows us to get out and gives us probable cause to get out with would-be violators of the park closing statute. So that's something that hopefully we consider. I'm going to work with Janelle so we can broach that appropriately through the council and the city hall. I just wanted to bring that to your attention and let you know that's the direction we're going. Go ahead.
Councilman Nelson.
What park was this called? Sorry. Oh, over here at the Lewis and Clark Park.
Lewis and Clark, thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
But my assumption is it would apply for all parks in Stevensville.
I'm with that.
And it will greatly enhance our ability to enforce Montana statute in those areas. So.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Moving on, item F, Public Works. Do you have a report or you just?
Just briefly, I'm in full agreement with the dusk to dawn deal in the park. I think it helped with vandalism and stuff too. So we had this big snow event this morning. I think there's trees and limbs down in virtually every street in town. We worked pretty hard today. Thank you to Bob for running the saw for us. Thank you, Chief Bo, for helping out this morning. I don't think we would have gotten as far as we did without it. That put us behind on our cemetery work for Memorial Day. So if you get any questions about it, We're gonna look at it tomorrow. There's still 2-3 days worth of tree limbs out there, but this is important too, so. There's also pretty big limbs down in the park, and I gotta get them before this weekend for everybody to be out there, so. So if you have any questions from the public or anybody, Mother Nature put us behind. We were right on schedule. Maplewood's done. Riverside is probably not gonna get complete. I hate that, but we can't help it. So, but thank you guys for your help this morning.
Thanks, Steve. Moving on to item number 7, unfinished business. Item number A, discussion decision, exemption to no overnight camping in Lewis and Clark Park for the special event permit for the circus. As you can see, this came up on April 25th, and Janelle was taking the minutes, and we didn't take a motion in a second, we took the vote. So just to be safe, we decided to bring it back up, just bring it to the formal motions, take a motion in a second, take it to a vote, and then we can move on. We've already approved it, but it's a technicality that we didn't do. So with that, could I get a motion? Councilmember Nelson.
I make a motion that we make an exception to no overnight camping in Lewis and Clark Park for the special events permit for the circus.
Have a motion, do we have a second? Councilmember Brown.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and we have a second. Do we need to have discussion or just go to the vote? Councilmember Brown.
Does Chief Bo know the dates the circus will be there?
They'll be getting all of their stuff the end of this month, and then,
Okay,
those dates. Yep.
thank you.
June 21st.
June
June 21st.
21st, yes, it is.
Any other comments from the council? Any comments from the public? Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilor Parker?
Aye.
Councilor Brown?
Aye.
And Councilor Nelson?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Item number B, discussion decision, approval of memorandum of agreement between the town of Stephenville and the Montana Department of Transportation for the John Owen Fishing Access Site. This came up last month. We tabled it because of the language. We didn't know what we were really signing off on, whether it was just for the signs, whether it was for the whole camp, the privy, the trail, blah, blah. And so we sent it back. We got a clarification from Jenna. Jenna has agreed to come tonight and step up and give us a little presentation and answer some questions if we have. Is that okay with the council?
Sure.
Hi all, thanks for having me. My name is Jenna Sage. I work for Missoula Engineering and I'm representing Fish, Wildlife and Parks. Sorry I couldn't be here at the last meeting to answer all of your questions. In designing this project, it was important for Fish, Wildlife and Parks to incorporate a pedestrian trail that connects to the trail that already exists in the MDT right-of-way. As part of that process, because we are improving the site, MDT requires that we apply for a new approach permit. And when we do that, they require certain improvements to make the intersection more safe and to update and upgrade it. So as part of that process, there was some signage, such as a stop sign, the crosswalk bars, and then they are asking, well, they're requiring that that portion of pedestrian trail from our property line to the road, to the pedestrian connection be paved. Unfortunately, MDT will not partner with Fish, Wildlife, and Parks in a maintenance agreement. They require that maintenance agreement to go through you guys. The entire fishing access site within the property boundary will be maintained by Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. The gravel access, the campground, the pit privy, all of that will not fall on the town of Stevensville. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, happy to answer them to the best of my ability.
Question? Go ahead, Councilmember Brown.
With regards to the memorandum of agreement with Montana Department of Transportation, in the second paragraph, it says the proposed agreement is to set forth the respective design, construction, maintenance, responsibility, and duties of the parties associated with the John Owens Fishing Access. They also have in here that shown on the approved plans, attachment B. There is no attachment B that was provided to us in our packet. And it said, where is it? There's several places in this document that doesn't seem to really fit what you just said. It appears that this agreement, it needs to be revised, to my opinion. Additionally, they mention on page 1 another attachment B. On page 2, under Article 2, it says the town shall review the project plans, will approve the plans submitted by the town. We're not submitting any plans.
I completely understand. I have read the agreement. I have had lengthy discussions with MDT about the way they have written the agreement. And unfortunately, this is kind of their standard template. I'm sorry you guys didn't get a copy of the plans, that MDT didn't send them to you. I do have a copy with me today. I'm happy to review all the infrastructure we're proposing in the right-of-way. I just want to be clear that MDT cannot require you guys to maintain land owned by Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. So this agreement is strictly to the MDT right-of-way. So, but if you would like to see a
So
copy
is
of,
there going to be an attachment B?
yes, there is. It's going to be an attachment B. I do have, I mean,
And that's the whole set of plans.
it is the entire design set that we prepared. If you would like to take a peek at it. It is quite lengthy, but if you want me to just skip to the site plan, that is the most pertinent. So this is the highway, and this is the property line. I'm sorry, you can't see this. So here is where we're proposing the paved trail connection. And
To the
then
already existing.
to the already existing trail, exactly. And then once it enters FWP's property, it'll be gravel. And then we will have a stop sign, a stop bar, and a crosswalk, because there is that yes, exactly. So it just adds a little bit of vehicle pedestrian.
Wasn't this in the previous?
It was,
This
It
in the
was,
previous.
yes.
So I guess my question is that going to be, is this page going to be the only page attached? And
No, it
circle that?
That is an excellent question.
In red or something saying that?
I asked MDT, I said, can I please revise attachment B, or can I include an additional exhibit that very specifically,
Just that.
points out exactly, and they said no. They said they include the entire, design set when they do these agreements. So that,
And nothing on you, but I feel that they have put some very harsh wording on some of it, on penalties for us if we do not follow this, that we could be penalized for not maintaining those pieces of property.
the
Yeah.
trail and, sure,
Which is really hard to swallow, especially if something does happen. We don't keep up our end of the bargain. you know, have they kept up their end of the bargain on the bike path that is supposedly theirs? You know, these are the type of things that we look at.
Yeah,
I
certainly.
understand for public safety and so forth. And what you guys have here is very well planned out. I love it. I think it's gonna be great for the community to have that out there. Because obviously it's been a while since we've traveled back and forth with trying to get something in that area, and Marla has been so gracious to be able to give that piece of property for.
I'll leave this up here for you guys, but
One other question, on page 6 of the agreement, can you tell me why the invoices will be sent to Big Rosetown, Inc., P.O. Box 905, Shelby, Montana?
in my updated version, it says Town of Stevensville.
That's not what I had, you guys. I only received this one, so I don't know.
Okay. I can certainly get you guys, or have MDT send you
An updated,
updated copy.
and maybe that would have the attachment of
Yeah,
B that you could not get, that they have.
Well, it's highlighted there because they wanted to know, verify. Yeah.
yeah, does your guys still say draft across it?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay.
That's interesting, because who's to say that what we got here draft-wise, there isn't wording changed?
I've read through both. I think it was just I noticed the address was wrong on that invoice portion, so.
Councilmember Brown.
On page 7, under A, they actually state Bob Michelson, Town Mayor, and Janelle, Town Clerk. Shouldn't that just be the current town mayor without their names in there? Because 5 years down the road, there's no guarantee that they will be the,
But I think they do that on a lot of agreements and stuff because that's who the current mayor
Yeah.
is.
So it's like a multi.
Sign is stuck away.
that'd be very
It's
similar
not,
to.
it's not a revolving,
Sure, we come across documents a lot that have been
All the time.
agreements and things, and maybe it's got a, a mayor from 15 years ago, but from the same time frame. So that makes sense, I guess, too.
I guess this, obviously it's gonna put more work on our public works department too, so that's something we need to think about,
mainly just
just the upkeep of the.
the upkeep of the road, like I say. Signs are signs, they just get replaced.
The upkeep of what?
Of the pathway that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It is what it is, yeah, I'm talking about signs are signs, if one goes over, we replace it.
Yes. Yep, I think there's about,
What about if a
5
vehicle
years.
hits it? That's still on us?
Yes.
I believe so, yes.
Councilmember Brown.
so, who is actually constructing and putting in this bike path?
FWP.
And you're filing for all the permits, because that's another part of the agreement, says that Town of Stevensville will file all the permits.
FWP will obtain all of the permits. We already have DEQ approval, we already have a septic permit for the pit privy, we already have a floodplain permit from Ravalli County. And just working through the approach permit, and then this project can go out to bid.
Councilmember Nelson.
Has all of this been brought and is privy to our legal team?
Greg, yes. Greg reviewed it actually twice.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions from the council before we ask for a motion? Okay, seeing none, could I get a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement? Councilmember Barker.
I make a motion for the approval of memorandum of agreement between the town of Stevensville and MDT for the John Owens Fishing Access Site.
We have a motion by Councilmember Barker. Do we have a second? Councilmember Nelson.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Do we have a further discussion by the council on the memorandum? None? Do we have any discussion from the public on the memorandum of understanding? Mrs. Motley.
Vicky Motley, 318 9th Street. I am excited to see this finally coming forward again because we worked a long time to get that moving and then it just kind of went away. So I'm so glad to see this and I hope that you guys go forward with this because it will be such a huge addition to the Stevensville community. The people that come and are down at the river, I mean, they are going to visit the businesses. We were in the taco place the other night and there were some fishermen in there that they've been on the river. And so I think it just helps bring business to the community, which then helps everyone. So I hope it goes forward.
And then I got also that this fishing access that is like the other ones that are maintained down the line, like Bell Crossing and all them, it is a huge industry for the state and for this county. It's the biggest industry we have, the biggest fishing. They have it so close here to finally come in for Jason. I mean, this started way back when Stacy and I were first here on the land swap with the cap and how that went south, but
So do keep in mind, I hear Fish, Wildlife and Parks is putting a conservation on anybody who use the river. Is that correct? $12 an acre? It's already in place. So how, that's gonna be crazy.
What do you mean by that conservation?
Anybody that uses the river has to pay $12 fee.
It's started now, this summer.
Yeah.
It's an annual conservation license, basically.
Councilmember Jeff.
Back to you, the motion on the floor. If you do not agree to this and do not do this, I mean, it's going to be the same way it is right now today. This is only improving the safety of the use of that bike path. Yeah, we got to do this, folks. And yeah, it's probably going to cost us some dollars at some point in time, but the overall benefit to the safety of that bike path, it's amazing how much use that bike path gets. I mean, it truly is amazing.
5 o'clock in the morning, somebody's walking.
Yes, and I mean, if we don't do this, well, it's just going to be what it is right now. If we do it, it's going to improve it and make it a much safer place for everybody.
Thanks, Jeff. And I can speak for that myself, as you all know, many times that I hope this will come. Any other comments from the public? Any other comments from the council? Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilmember Barker?
Aye.
Councilmember Brown?
I prefer that the agreement is done correctly, but if it's going to improve the park and public safety, then I guess I will have to vote yes.
And Councilmember Nelson?
I have to agree 100%. I feel like we kind of need things in order, legally speaking, for us to consciously make this full decision. But in retrospect to the town and to the town's safety, I would say yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 3-0. Moving on, item number B.
I'm sorry, can I just say?
I'm sorry that I picked apart the agreement, but
I completely understand. I read it and I had a lot of questions myself. I will have MDT send you guys the updated correct agreement, and I just want to leave those plans there for you guys.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item number C, discussion decision, public works, on-call policy. As you know, at a Cal meeting, we ironed it out and we kind of hashed back and forth. And then when we went over to the Fairmont Hot Spring, we got together with some other towns and everything. And Councilmember Barker was able to bring it back. We needed some language, some stronger language and some guidelines as far as the on-call policy was. So with that, could I get a motion to approve the Public Works on-call policy? Councilmember Nelson.
Make a motion that we make the Public Works on-call policy official.
We have a motion by Councilmember Nelson. Do we have a second? Councilmember Barker.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and we have a second. Do we have a discussion by the council? Councilmember Barker.
Couple things that were just obviously little cleanup things on the policy itself, on how things were spaced and stuff. I did make some note of that. Let's see, what was that? Page 81. Oh, yeah. Did I read it on something else? Pages are wrong. General, something with general. There we go.
You're right on page 81. That's the on-call policy. Yeah.
I'm seeing 87 over here. I don't know what I'm seeing.
It's
81.
just one page.
Am I on the wrong? Am I on the wrong thing? I feel like I've missed something here. Okay, so anyway, Councilmember Brown has so graciously let me use her computer. On some line items, the Public Works Director, with the approval of the mayor, will specify the exact hours and the employees that needs to be brought up a line for cleanup. And then we have B, same thing on number 2, just bringing those lines up. Works within 1 hour or less at the speed limit. So those were just some little typo things that I had failure-wise, capitalized under compensation, right by budget, if is not capitalized. So, and I'm sure you're gonna proofread these again before
I just took this right from his email, so. yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
for
just
sure.
little things to make sure. One thing that I would like to see in specifications, and I believe it's up at the very top of it, that talks about, where's it at? On duty shall not consume alcohol beverages. I would like to see also intoxicating substances in that particular line item. That way it covers all and it does not just include one thing. I think that's really big, especially if you're an on-call person. I think you need to be sober. So, especially with dealing with citizens of the town and you're representing our town.
And getting paid.
So, I think that was all I had. It was really kind of nice because we had some oversight on different towns and how they did their pay. Most cities pay either 2 hours of work time or they go with 2 hours of overtime. Whitefish and Fairview, those were really, really laid out on how their pay scale works. I'm not saying that our guys are not worth it, but I think they're asking for a little bit much. So.
Councilmember Brown.
I did receive an email from Councilmember Smith, but with the change, Stacy May, I would feel that included cannabis products to any intoxicating substance. So I think that would be suit him also.
Okay. Any other comments from the council on the on-call policy? Any comments from the public on the on-call policy?
Glenn got called out last night, 2 o'clock in the morning to the well, and never got to the bridge. To get up there. Fourth. 2 o'clock.
That's what the on-call is for. Okay. Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilmember Barker.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
And Councilmember Nelson.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Item number 8, new business. Discussion decision, resolution number 532, a resolution of the Stephenville Town Council adopting a purchasing policy for the town of Stephenville. We had a town meeting a week or so ago, and we brushed it up, tidied it up, the language, and we're bringing it back for final approval. So with that, could I get a motion from the council? Councilmember Barker.
I make a motion for resolution number 532, a resolution of the town of Stevensville's council adopting a purchasing policy for the town of Stevensville.
We have a motion by Councilmember Barker. Do we have a second? Councilmember Brown.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and we have a second by Councilmember Brown. Do we have discussion by the council? Do we have this, Councilmember Barker?
So everything that was highlighted in yellow, are those the changes that we made? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other comments from the council? Any comments from the public on the purchasing policy? Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilmember Barker.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
And Councilmember Nelson.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Item number B, opening of RFP for audit services for fiscal years 23, 24, 24, 25, 25, and 26. Janelle, would you open the bids?
We received one. And that was from Denning, Downing and Associates PC, certified public accountants out of Kalispell, Montana. Okay, so they included 4 proposals for those audit services in here. Let's just make sure that at the end of the meeting, we just toss it back on my desk for me, please, yes? All inclusive maximum fees, fiscal year 23-24, $35,000, fiscal year 24-25, $36,400, and fiscal year 25-26, $37,850. There is also some fee rates that are also part of this. Fiscal year 23-24 for a partner is $315 an hour, the manager $315 an hour, and also the staff. The following fiscal year 24-25, partner, manager, and staff all $330 per hour, and fiscal year 25-26, partner, manager, and staff $345 per hour.
And as you two council members know, when we had to do the audit in 2022, it was what, close to $200,000? So Robert and I and Janelle tonight earlier before the meeting were going through some budget stuff, and we were making predictions on what it would be, and I won.
You were, actually, this is under what you even.
Yeah, I know, but
You did well.
I said 45,000.
Per
That's
year.
pretty good, yeah.
Yes, this was nice.
Kind of surprising, actually, we thought it would be a lot higher because a lot of the towns are getting really.
Yeah, and like Robert and I we were all talking today, he's now been involved with a lot of our things over the last few years, so this is,
And they're continuing it on because they're doing the budget now.
we're not reinventing anything anymore.
Right, they're not starting over.
They've got it all.
They've got all the info.
So I don't see those fee schedules that you were talking about.
They put that on their separate sheet, that's not included in what their scope of work is within their document. Because they're usually, those documents are pretty templated out.
We should be doing last year's audit, what, August? Can't believe the year. August, September.
Feels like that was about right.
You had time to look it over?
It seems like it's pretty much the same as what we had before for them.
Okay, we can move on to item number C, discussion decision awarding a bid of audit services. So if I could get a motion to approve the audit services of Mr. Downey. Councilmember Barker.
I make a motion for audit services fiscal 23, 24, 24, 25, 25, 26, be awarded to Denning, Downing and Associates PC.
We have a motion by Councilmember Barker. Do we have a second? We have a second by Councilmember Nelson. Do we have a discussion by the council? Councilmember Brown.
Is the town happy with their services?
Yeah.
We were talking about that with Robert today as well. We just said, it's interesting what we had prior to was Strong and Associates. And they did theirs, of course, a little bit differently. And some things, like Robert was saying, Denning and Downing are a little bit more intense maybe on certain levels than maybe what the previous ones were. But then, look at things a little bit differently on the other side. But
Different pair of eyes.
I think they've done a really good job. They help us find a lot of those things that are now corrected and that we won't continue to have coming up in future audits. Yeah.
Councilmember Nelson.
How new is this service? Like when did we switch to the newer company?
In 2022.
So we've only been with them for 2 years.
And obviously, there's several other ones that were out there, we've had in the past. I mean, they were all good in the past. So obviously, they want to continue to go with what we have right
Yeah,
now.
and not only did they just do since 22, they were covering 2 years back for us as well, Councilmember Nelson. So they were picking up previous stuff that had not been completed.
Okay.
So they had quite a chore ahead of them when they first came on for us.
And they pulled it off, obviously. Sweet.
It was a pretty penny to the town, but I tell you what, it got us where we were current
Yes.
and we were no longer back.
Sometimes you gotta pay a financier.
That's a whole nother story in
Yeah.
itself. Any more discussion from the council? Any discussion from the public on the audit services? Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilmember Barker.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
And Councilmember Nelson.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Item number D, opening of RFPs for the towing service. Janelle, what can you do?
We received 2. The first one, Ambrose Creek Towing, 587 Ambrose Creek Road, Stevensville, Montana. So Mayor Michelson and I spoke about this today before this meeting, and both of these I will read in their entirety, because we were looking for so many different things within that RFP. I'll read both of them completely through, so you guys can see what it is that they're presenting. Okay. Ambrose Creek Towing, like I said, Ambrose Creek Road, for a 2-year agreement, removal of junk vehicles per town ordinance. The town of Stevens will not be charged for junk vehicle removal. The owner of the vehicle will be charged for the vehicle in accordance with Montana laws. Towing of abandoned vehicles. The town of Stevensville will not be charged for abandoned vehicles. Owners of vehicles will be charged in accordance with Montana laws. Towing of town-owned vehicles. That would be something, maybe a police car or a public works vehicle, fire rig, something along those lines. Flat rate, $85 per tow within city limits. There'll be a $3 mile outside of city limits for loaded and unloaded miles. Lockouts, jump starts, tire changes, flat rate of $40 within city limits. And there is a $3 per mile charge to location of vehicle outside of city limits.
What was that, outside the city limits, how much?
Yes, $3 per mile.
$3, okay.
Travel to.
24/7 towing of vehicles from town property. There will be no charge to the city. The owner of the vehicle will be responsible for fees in accordance with state laws. Assisting law enforcement needs. If it's a private vehicle, the owner of the vehicle is responsible for all charges in accordance with state law. Light duty winch outs, $125 per hour with a 1 hour minimum. Vehicles that can be towed. Light duty up to 10,000 pounds, medium duty 10,000 to 20,000 pounds. Campers and motorhomes disposal. Campers $200 and motorhomes $250 for disposal, related to the cost associated to get rid of them at the landfill. We have light duty, medium duty, wheel lift, and flatbed tow trucks. Currently, we do not have heavy duty equipment above 20,000 pounds. We haul bumper pole, gooseneck, or fifth wheel trailers. We are available 24/7, 365 days a year, and usually within 30 minutes of the call. Signs are available that state no parking. You can have more made within a week's notice to meet the city's needs. Note Ambrose Creek Towing currently has the Ravalli County junk vehicle contract through the Ravalli County Commissioner, so I can assist in the county removal of junk and abandoned vehicles. Thank you for this opportunity. Ambrose Creek Towing, owner Justin Clayton. Second one is from Stevensville's Towing, here in Stevensville, Montana. Services that are required are as follows: removal of junk vehicles per town ordinance, that service is free. Towing of abandoned vehicles, that service is free. Towing of town-owned vehicles, examples would include inoperable vehicle, flat tire, $65 plus $4 per mile. Assisting in law enforcement assisting in law enforcement needs, yes, that is provided. 24/7 towing of vehicles from town property, yes, that is provided. Requesting the following: hourly rates, $65 with a minimum of 65. Towing capabilities, small, medium, and large, only large wrecker in Ravalli County. All wreckers are on law enforcement rotation, registered through the state of Montana. Tire services are available with a full tire shop with both new and used tires in stock. 31 years of towing experience, 3 drivers, 5 trucks, highway patrol and Ravalli County Sheriff rotation. We are open 24/7, 7 days a week, holding yard inside storage with surveillance cameras. Absolutely no motorhomes or campers to be brought to our yard. And included in that was the certificate of fact for Stevensville Towing, along with the Montana Highway Patrol certificate of insurance and a certificate of liability insurance as well. And if you need me to repeat fees or anything like that, please let me know. Because I know I kind of read that fast.
Well, he was $65 an hour and then $4 per mile, correct? Flat rate is
For Stevensville Towing, correct. RFP for towing services from Ambrose, that one flat rate, $85 per towing within city limits with a $3 mile, yes.
Okay, the council ready to move to item E, make a motion?
I
Go ahead.
Question, what was the maximum size that they could tow, the two of them? And did that include, because then we just recently had to have a fire truck towed?
So on the first one that I read, Ambrose Creek Towing, he states vehicles that can be towed light duty up to 10,000 pounds, medium duty 10,000 to 20,000 pounds. We have light duty, medium duty, wheel lift and flatbed tow trucks. Currently, we do not have heavy-duty equipment above 20,000 pounds. Stevensville Towing, and the representative for Stevensville Towing is here this evening. I suppose if you guys have any questions as well. That I do not see on here, but that would be a great question for.
It's on there.
Is it- did I say it?
I think you did.
Oh, I did, I'm sorry, you guys. Towing capabilities, it's small, medium, and large, only large record in Rhode Island County. Yeah, thank you.
That was the second one, not Ambulance, right?
Correct. Stevensville Towing,
Stevensville
yes.
Towing.
So correct, Stevensville Towing can,
They can do that.
They can go to the-
they can do the fire trucks.
Yeah.
Because I think we had a big claim when we had to have one towed recently. Last fall, maybe.
Last fall, last summer, something. There was something like that, I think, yes.
The second Stevensville Towing, this is that whole lot enclosure with cameras.
That is correct,
Secure.
Holding yard inside storage
It'd
with
be handy
surveillance
if we had
cameras.
to have something towed out for that insurer value.
Good point.
So it seems like the only downside is that they don't let me big stuff in their lot. And they charge a little extra fees. But I'm seeing upticks is better. They can haul heavy all the way down to small. And they have a yard, which helps you guys out and us. I say we pay the extra bit of fee. That's my opinion. Sorry, speaking out of turn.
Somebody want to make a motion? Councilmember Bartley?
I make a motion for awarding of the bid of towing services to Stevensville Towing.
We have a motion by Councilmember Bartley. Do we have a second?
I second that.
We have a motion and we have a second by Councilmember Nelson. Do we have a discussion by the council?
I think it's been pretty well explained. I do like the fact that, it's less money as well, $65 an hour as opposed to $85. So even with that extra $1 an hour, kind of weighs itself out, so.
Any other questions from the council? Any questions from the public on the towing service? Go ahead, Councilmember.
I didn't mean to cut that in. I actually had a question for the towing service.
For Jeff?
You look like a towing guy. Where are you guys located?
Where's the Y?
At the Y. Okay, thank you. That was,
Behind.
So we can be here in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Sit down.
that's perfect. I thought that was the same lot.
Okay. And from the public, none more from the council. Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the roll?
Councilor Barker? Aye. Councilor Brown? Aye. And Councilor Nelson?
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Item number F, opening of surplus sale items, bidding sheets.
So I will just open these tonight. If there's any that are the same, or even if there isn't, then I'll read those, and then they'll be notified tomorrow morning. Highest bid, and then you want to discuss,
Yes,
go ahead.
some of the items weren't bid on, so if it's okay with the council and the department heads, we'll talk with them if they want to bring that item back up to continue to surplus it, because it's already here for another 2 weeks. Try to get something out of it instead of taking it back down to Public Works or owning it somewhere for another 2 years or whatever, and if they want to lower the price on something. And I think that would probably be the way to go, or leave it up to me or whatever on the smaller stuff for the department head and see if they want to dispose of it or whatever, we can do it that way. Those are little things. Would that work for the council?
I think it should go back to, the department heads, like you were saying, and they can discuss if they want to put it back.
Oh, yeah, it's their
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, I'm-
They could dispose of it, or we could say bring it back.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And get their money's worth.
And this is for item F?
Hmm?
Is this for item F?
Yes.
For the surplus item.
Okay, I'm gonna start. there was two different ways. There was a vehicle, 1 through 7, and there was equipment, 1 through like 15. And so I'm just gonna, some people didn't put them back in the rectangle. So, bear with me just a second, you guys. Some vehicles got bid on, but not much of our equipment stuff. Okay, the first thing on the list was vehicle number 1, a 2006 GMC Envoy. And there was one bid. The starting bid was $1,000 and the bid amount was $1,111.11. That was awarded to James Cruz here in Stevensville on 9th Street.
That's the Envoy?
Yes, vehicle number 1, yep.
Airport?
Vehicle number 2 was a 2005 Chevy Suburban. That was the fire department's vehicle. And there were no bids made on that one. The vehicle number 3 was the 1995 GMC 1500. That was the ambulance. And the starting bid on that was $2,500, and there was not a bid made on that either. Nope. Vehicle number 4, a 1965 Ford dump truck. Starting bid on that was $500. No bid made on that. Vehicle number 5, a unknown year backhoe. Starting bid on that was $1,000. And there were 2 bids on that. The first bid I'm looking at here was $1,551.11, and the second bid was $2,000. So highest bidder, Chad Sutherland of Stevensville. Vehicle number 6 was a tow behind sweeper. There was 1 bid. The starting bid was $250. The bid amount was $275.11, and that is awarded to Craig Thomas of Stevensville. The last one on the vehicle section was a lawnmower, at the time unknown make and model. Starting bid on that was $500. And I have 2 bids. There is a bid for $751.11, and there is a bid for $757. That is the winning bid to a Stephen Jessup of Hinesdale. We had, like I said, a multitude of items. We had an office phone system was item 1. There was no bid. There was item 2, miscellaneous audio visual equipment, some items from the fire department that had no bids. Item number 3, some 100-foot sections of 5-inch hose, 10 of those were not bid on. An ambulance cot was not bid on. Miscellaneous fittings, not bid on. Craftsman tool and battery set, not bid. Item number 7, miscellaneous light bars, no bids. Item number 8, 4 steel trimmers, no bid. A Ram C8 hydraulic engine lift, no bid. Fiberglass truck topper, no bid. Item number 11, a portable generator. Starting bid was $75. There was a bid of $101. James Cruz, 9th Street, Stevensville, Montana. Item number 12, an Empire standby whole house generator, no bid. Number 13, which was a refrigerator, was taken off the list because it doesn't work. Is that correct? Thank you. Item number 14, a Samsung printer and copier, no bid. And the last one, item 15, a Sharp printer and copier, no bid. I'm done.
Like to get on those items.
You need an ambulance to put in your fleet of
Yeah.
resources?
Okay, we'll move on now.
We'll send out an email?
Yep.
Okay, what's that? That wasn't put in because it's, you guys are doing that as a trade within the county? Yeah.
We'll go on to the board reports.
Let me get that.
No board reports? Town council comments? Councilman Ward?
I would like to say that we attended, training over in Anaconda for city council, mayors, and other staff. There was finance officers and clerks as well. I always take away a lot of information from this, especially when it comes to different laws and regulations and different things that are gonna start coming across the board. We talked a lot about, Senate bills and House bills and some of the zoning regulations that they have. So that was really an eye-opener to see what we can and cannot do with our parts of people want to bring in new things to the town. So I have a letter that I would like to read. This is my composure of it. This is to mayors, council members, and citizens of Stevensville. I say this with a heavy heart tonight. I have had a hard time watching what is happening to our community lately. I again see divisioning happening with many political parties as attacking one another. As they say, this is part of being a political party. Whatever political party you are, that is your choice you have made, which we have a right to do so. We are seeing change all around us. It might be hard for some to accept, and some may be okay with change. We all have the right to make a voice towards changes. They may not all be heard, but again, we have a choice. However, as a council member, when I walk through those doors into town hall, I leave my hats behind, and I mean many hats that I wear within the community. This is where I put my representative hat on for the citizens of Stevensville. Some may not agree with me, but I represent Stevensville, and I do it proudly. I become nonpartisan. Do many know what nonpartisan means? I'm not biased or partisan, especially towards any political groups. Remember, we are representatives of the town. We represent the citizens of Stevensville. We are to be trustworthy, honest, be dependable, keeping promises, overcoming discouragements, and model professional manners. I could keep going on and on about what it takes to be an elected council member of Stevensville. We were all elected. We may see it all a little differently, but this is how I see it. What I'm getting at is that some of us cannot leave everything at the door when we walk into the room. You represent our town, not a political party. When we took office, we were all sworn in and we took an oath as council members. We have a code of conduct to follow. Maybe we should revisit this code of conduct and see what it looks like. I feel we have some that are not following it. What my vision is for all of us to work together and do what is best for Stevensville and stop the division or leave it at the door when you walk into this room. Let's be an inviting community as we are known for. Let's build a foundation together and make Stevensville a place that we can call our home. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Parker, well said. Councilman
I just wanted to, I went over to the meetings at Fairmont also. It was the first time for me. It was very eye-opening. I do want to say they really did, want us to remember that we need to stay in our lanes and do council work only. That's our main job. And definitely when we walk in that front door, we're here to represent the town. That's it.
Thank you, Councilmember Brown. Any other council comments?
I want to just say one other thing. Thank you guys for doing the cleanup that you've had to do throughout the town. When I went to work at 5 o'clock this morning, trees were already starting to, it was heavy. It was really heavy. And then seeing some of the surrounding areas that are hit hard too, I appreciate it. I appreciate all your guys' help.
Councilmember Nelson.
I concur with her statement. Appreciate you guys more than you know. I'm a bit of a no sleeper kind of person, so I was up at like 2 a.m. for some reason. I stepped outside to get some air, and I'm standing there watching it snow for God knows why. And I'm hearing trees just snap all over the neighborhood. Like, it was incredible. I'm like, hear one snap across, another one snap. These are big limbs, I can hear them falling. It's like, I hope everybody's house is all right. But, yeah, I'm with her. We appreciate you guys.
Someone told me that, somebody else told me that too.
Did they? Yeah, it was
Around that
crazy.
same time.
It was crazy, yeah. It was like just that timing, I just happened to step out, and they're all getting a little too heavy.
Yes, thank you, everyone who pitched in today. It was Public Works, sounds like Fire Department, sounds like the mayor, for getting things going. Chief?
Any other? None? Okay, I'll move on to my executive report. On 4:30, we had a pre-construction meeting regarding the paving on Spring Street. The project is tentatively start still on June 7th, although we haven't got any word yet back, have we, Janelle, on, they're supposed to send out notices to all the property owners over there when they start moving their vehicles and everything off there because they're gonna start tearing it up. On the 7th of May, those two and Wally and I went to Fairmont Hot Springs for local government center training. It was very well. Stacy and I were old timers, we go every year, they know us, they all know Stacy, and it's just a good thing, and it makes you want to go back. So I hope when we pass the budget this year that we put in training for this fall at West Yellowstone in October. Because, as you all know, they all want us to come there. So I hope we do that. The Mission Street grading project is moving along without many hiccups. The vehicle and property cleanup continues. I sent out 4 letters this week. We had a major heavy snow event last night. There were some major damages to homes, vehicles, fences, etc., from falling trees, limbs. Public Works was at it all day, removing debris from the streets and sidewalks. I asked the public to be patient as it takes time to cut, load, and haul it off because we only have 1 dump truck and 1 little grabber thing. So it might look like everybody's standing around, but everybody's actually trying to do something. There's not many of us anyway, but anyway, that was well done today. There's much more work to do, and I'd like to let the public know that if some of the lawns and stuff didn't get done because of the snow event and we're picking up debris, then we have an excuse because they would normally be doing. I think you got the headstones already, didn't you? A lot of those.
Maybe we were completely done, Riverside we probably won't finish.
Probably won't finish. Yeah, so it is what it is. If we wouldn't have had that, they would have been done. Like you said earlier,
Really done.
he was on top of it. Next Thursday, the 30th, Robert and I and Janelle worked on the budget the last couple of days, and we're ready to present the wages. And my only question to the council is what time would you like to start? I know you get off what time. If it would be all possible, I guess it depends on you, because I say it's off early enough and she's off early enough. What's the earliest you could get off to start a budget workshop? Because
You
They wanted
said
to
budget
go over
workshop, correct?
Huh?
Budget workshop.
Yes, the budget workshop on the 30th.
What time were you planning on
Well-
starting?
I thought 4:30 would be possible. Or is it too early for you?
On the 30th? I can try to make, 4:30,
4:30? Okay.
if that works.
And
good for
what
you.
departments are we gonna start with? Just
We're just gonna do the
Just wait.
Just
the
wages,
wages,
okay.
yep, 'cause that's the biggest thing, and like we said when we were at Fairmont, when we did that public thing, they said the first thing you do is you do the
Your
wages.
wages, yeah.
Because that's your big expense, and we looked at today, and the wages this year are proposed to go for $1 million. It is what it is. Nobody's getting big increases or nothing, it's just what it is.
Mhm.
So,
So we're on 4:30?
Hmm? yes, next Thursday at 4:30. And also, back to the Mission Street project, there's Eli Malloy, he sent out a thing saying that, he talked to Stephen, and they want to shut off down Public Works, right? For Second Street
Next Wednesday.
next Wednesday, so they can tie in. They're gonna have to shut off the water, how long? 4 hours?
Yeah, they'll say 4 hours usually, and they tend to overestimate, so they'll
Hopefully before that.
before.
Yeah, but they'll have a water truck there ready in case we need water and all that, so.
It shuts it off to the park and the plant. So they wanted to do it Tuesday, but I got a big group of kindergartners coming in, so I asked them to wait till Wednesday, because those little kids are gonna want to use the bathroom. So it'll work out for some.
Okay. And so with that, I have nothing else, and I'd like to have everybody to have a nice and safe Memorial Day weekend and be safe. With that, could I entertain a motion to adjourn? Councilmember Barker.
I make a motion to adjourn?
Have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.